Hey, what's up? This is Jason Drohn. Welcome to today's presentation. So today we are going to dive into how to start a service-based business from your home and generate leads and sales, generate leads, clients, all of that good stuff online. So if you have a service, a knowledge, a skill set, a something you want to do for others, then this presentation is going to walk you through generating leads and perhaps closing those sales, closing those people into a purchase with you. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jason Drohn. I'm creator of doneforyou.com, and I help people and businesses create offers and sell them online. So sell, from an automated standpoint, through sales funnels and traffic and all kinds of other stuff. But creating and selling, is really the piece that I'm most passionate about. Today is exciting because if just kind of to dive into it. So professional services, it's interesting. Every once in a while you read a book, and I've listened to Think and Grow Rich or read Think and Grow Rich for, I probably read it 4 times, and I've listened to it another 5 or 6 times over the course of like the last decade. So, and one of the things the screaming things that, you read almost right off the bat, like in the first or second chapter, is about this idea of service businesses and basically offering services of value to people. And that is how you generate your fortune. That is how you generate your money. So it was interesting because I was listening to the book this morning and knowing that I was going to be doing this service module, and this piece kind of jumped out at me. So professional services, when you're offering services to other people, so some examples: you have financial planning, you have legal services or accounting and bookkeeping, or investment services or business services like sales and strategy, like the stuff that we do. There's travel, although not so much anymore, or there is obviously, but just not like right now. There's lending, credit repair, franchises, freelance. All this stuff is services that you can do, or kind of frameworks that you can fall within. And we have literally built like funnels for every single one of these service spaces, every single one of these industries. Lending and working capital loans, or we've done some credit repair stuff, we've done some franchise stuff and some MLM stuff, so lots of financial planning and lots of legal. And the services all follow a pretty general framework. So somebody has a problem. This prospect, this person goes to Google and types something into the search bar, or they're on Facebook, they're on some sort of a social media platform, and they're interrupted in an ad that then says, we will do, this for you. And then they come over, they generate a lead, on the website, and then that is that. So that's kind of how it ends up working. It's not an overly complex sales funnel, but basically it's lead generation. And then they come in, they give their email address, and then you transition into a pitch somehow. So there's like a little bit of a bridge page, and it says, hey, thanks so much for downloading my lead magnet. While you're here, one of the questions we most often get asked is, boom. And then that is the bridge into your pitch. There was 3 or 4 people that I talked to yesterday, and that literally, that's as simple as the sales funnel needs to be for them. The first thing you really need to realize with professional services is you're selling you're selling your personal brand, and your brand is important. But so there's 2 different kind of wheelhouses when it comes to brands. You have your people who are like brand above all else. Like, all I care about is the brand, like a brand, colors, logo. All I care about is the brand. And then you have other people, in a different camp, who are like, all I care about is the conversion. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care, what colors it is, as long as it works, as long as it makes money, I'm fine with it. And then you have like the people like me who tend to be like in the middle, so I believe in brand equity. I believe brand is important, but I don't sacrifice conversions for brand, so if a page needs an orange button to convert 12% higher, you better damn well believe it's going to have an orange button. That's just how we end up building stuff. So, but in realizing that you're building a personal brand in selling services, the right website and the right sales funnel, your prospects are going to reach out to you either online or on the phone. I mean, you'll be relating your services to their situation and then selling them. So you want to meet your clients' unique needs where they are. And right now is a very interesting time because, I mean, in pandemic, in quarantine, their needs are different than they were 3 months ago. So now if you look at from a legal standpoint, legal services, like most lawyers have switched into like PPP funding, so I can't tell you how many requests we've gotten in the last couple of months. Hey, I need a PPP funnel, or I need, a government funding funnel, whatever, so, okay, absolutely. It's all the same because it's lead gen. All service-based business sales funnels are lead gen into a qualified sales call, because services by their very nature are complex, and they're just complex. And you can really sell anything and do anything. The most important thing to realize is that when you're selling a service, you need to productize your offer, so at least that very, very first sale, that very first thing that you offer, you're going to, it needs to be packaged nicely. It's in a nice little bow. That's how it needs to be presented to your client. Now, the absolute best way to sell services online is to create standard packages for your offering. So like good, better, best works here. For those of you who watch The Profit on CNN, MSNBC, maybe? Yeah, I think it's MSNBC. I don't know, CNN, I don't remember. But Marcus Lemonis is his name. And most of the companies that he ends up taking over, he implements this good, better, best strategy, this good, better, best pricing strategy. And it works really well in the service-based businesses. There can be upgrades and additions to like your pricing tiers, but that first pricing tier needs to be really well packaged, and that is what's going to get them in the door. That's your foot in the door, like strategy, for getting them to raise their hand and say, yes, I need your services. Then once they're in process, they can do something else. In the old local marketing days, and it's still used a little bit, but we used to, I didn't really do this, but a lot of other local marketers did. They would kind of put their foot in the door with like a Google Maps optimization or like a claim your listing that was really, really popular like 8 years ago. So they would reach out to a business owner and say, hey, you have all these really bad reviews on your Google Maps pages. Can I help you claim your listing so you can clean those up? And business owners, by and large, would just swallow. They would just eat that thing up for $500 for a Google Maps listing. And then once they were in process, it was like, okay, now what else do you need? You need SEO work. Well, you probably need SEO work if your reviews were shit. You probably need SEO work on your website to help the search rankings and help that. Maybe you need some PPC. Maybe you need some website design. So that initial foot in the door offer is nice and productized, but then everything after that, the follow-on money, the follow-on offers, those end up being less customized and more complex. Or more customized and more complex, I should say, and also more expensive, because they're already in process. So, and customers will want to see that you can customize your offering to suit their needs, even in productized service packages, your clients are still going to want to see that there's some leeway. There's some room that they can move about so that you can customize your offer for them and make it well worth their time. Now, let's see. You want to target the biggest geographic area that you can. So if you are refined, if you are kind of dialed into a local geographic, then that's fine. Your service offering, you can offer that service in your local community, but it really should be the biggest geographic area that you can achieve. And one of the reasons for that is because anymore with ads, I mean, with Facebook ads and Google ads, I mean, you can still target a geographic area, but Facebook ads especially, the advertising, once you get some good conversion data in, then the ads run themselves, so what ends up happening is, like just the other day, actually, we have some campaigns. I pulled out all interest targeting in our Facebook ads and just let the algorithm run. Just let the algorithm go in the background. So pulled out all interest targeting, and I basically said, here are my parameters. My parameters are male, female, and then age groups. And the age groups are 10-year splits, 54 to like, it's always like 35 to 44, 45 to 54, 55 to 64, because those are the splits that Facebook like reports on. So I use those splits, and then I say every male who's 55 to 64 in the United States who matches my lookalike audience, but that's it. So, and then I pulled out all the interest. So there's no interest targeting whatsoever in these campaigns, and just let it run just to see what would happen. And wouldn't you know, lead cost dropped by 30%. Sale costs, like the first sale, the CPA costs, the cost per acquisition, dropped by 45%. So I'm paying 45% less money per sale than I did just letting the algorithms run. So the takeaway here is that your biggest, you want to target the biggest geographic area you can. So if you're able to practice law, if you're able to do financial planning for everybody in the state of Pennsylvania, then you should be targeting everybody in the state of Pennsylvania, because right now they're not coming to your office anyway. So get them on the phone, sell them on the phone. They're used to being sold on the phone by now. It's been a month and a half, so generate that lead, get them on the phone, get them on a Zoom call, and work with them that way. You also, and it also helps you establish your credibility through case studies and testimonials and stuff too. So that's something that you want to take a look at, something you want your website to do for you. Now, one of the things, so I live in Erie, Pennsylvania, and one of the things that we in Erie are literally just most people in Erie are just waking up to, is the fact that the world is a really big place, and you can get out into the rest of the world with advertising relatively quickly. I mean, you can literally put an ad up and start and reach the rest of the country with your stuff, which means that all of your service-based businesses, there's no reason why you're just in Erie. There's no reason why you're targeting the 25 miles in Erie, unless you're literally buying houses, or renovating houses or flipping houses or doing something real estate related. But even as like financial planners and like legal and it's things that actually have a geographic restriction, then you should still go as big as that geographic restriction is right now, and then suck all that money into Erie, as opposed to using the local community and just trading money. Like, that isn't how you thrive. You know what I mean? So, and the tools are here, like at the end of the day, it ends up being relatively cheap, to target all of Pennsylvania and show an ad twice to everybody within a certain geographic or within a certain demographic, so go as big as your geographic area will allow, and then close them on the phone. That's how people are expecting to be closed and talked to now anyway. Another thing, you want to be accessible. So you want to be accessible to your clients, so in your contract, make sure you establish your working times, your communication preferences, phone, email, text, Slack, Skype, and you want to make sure to get referrals. So ask your clients for referrals, do a referral campaign, for your services. Once you get a couple clients in, that's your warm traffic. It's like kind of your follow-on traffic, your follow-up traffic, I should say. So you have your cold traffic, people who don't know you, target as big as geographically possible. And then your referrals, you want your existing clients to recommend your services to other people. Now, at the end of the day, services are going to give you a way to generate significant revenue, but they always come at a time-based cost. So we had an entire week, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, called Accelerate, which was how to break free of the time and money trap. There is always a top end on services, so no matter what you do, whether it's coaching, whether it's consulting, there's always a time when you end up getting too big or too busy and you can't make any money, so and it might be 10 clients, it might be 12 clients, it might be 50 clients, so you just need to either manage the staff and the workload, or you need to manage the service and the clients, and there's always the supply demand piece. So even though, it just depends on what significant revenue is to you. If you're literally happy making 40 grand a month, and servicing 20 clients who are each paying you $2,000, great. That's awesome. If you have bigger aspirations than that and you want to go to, $100,000 a month or whatever, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a month, then you should probably leverage the service piece, but also include some digital products or coaching or consulting or some other non-time related offer that you can make as your front side. So that's your productized offer, and then your customized services on the back side. So there's lots of ways to tie services into your digital business, or lead with services. It really just depends on what you want to do, how you want to go about it. Now, every service-based client we've worked with tends to have a max number of people that they can use, that they can work with at the same time. 10, 20 is usually the ceiling. So, everybody from coaches to consultants to, once they hit like that 12 to 15, then they start sacrificing their free time. And anything, once they hit 20, then we start having very different conversations. The conversations are, how can I work more smartly? How can I work smarter? How can I clone myself? How can I hire like a new coach or a new instructor or whatever in to take some of the burden and load off me, so that I can be the expert and do what I do while somebody else actually coaches, or somebody else actually does the legal work or does the financial planning, and I can be front side, creating the content, doing the dynamic stuff, doing the speaking, being up in front of people. So there's lots of ways to leverage out of a service-based business. You just have to know what to look for, so, and be present enough to realize where everything is going. You know what I mean? So if you have 10 clients and you're happy with 10 clients, and then you establish a wait list, and then all of a sudden, your wait list keeps getting longer and longer. Your clients are staying, everything is good. Your business, literally, it's perfect if you want your business to be that way. But if you want to grow and you want to, add some staff, or you want to replace yourself, or you actually, God forbid, want to take a vacation, then you're going to have to do something different in order to work through that. So, and that might be a product, it might be a product. It might be some sort of like a service, Timothy just says, well, good morning, Timothy. He says, good morning. Great topic. So, and it's really important that you know your ceiling, and you're happy with what that means on a time revenue level. If not, it's time to think about products or team building. It's one or the other. You have to leverage your time and leverage yourself. So it's just kind of a fact of service-based businesses. You can grow the team, or you can grow your product line, or you can, but there's going to be a ceiling somewhere. So. Does anybody have any questions with services? Anything? So one of the things that came through was, how do you sell service? So from a sales funnel standpoint, how do you sell services? The best way really to actually here, I'm going to go into a Google Drive document, drive.google, show you a sales funnel. So this is what we call a fully qualified lead sales funnel. I've talked about this thing in other podcasts. If you just look at our channel and look for it, like FQL, just search for FQL, you will see it. So let me just kick this thing out. All right. Now, here we go. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen. I'm going to start sharing the next screen. So that is going to be this. We call this an FQL VSL funnel. So basically what this is it is a sales funnel that, so does this help? I'm trying to see if I can make this any bigger. That might not. That does not. Okay. That might be okay. I think you can see it okay. Yeah. So with this sales funnel, so basically we call it an FQL VSL funnel, but FQL stands for fully qualified lead. This is a perfect sales funnel for a service company. So basically what we're going to do is we have Facebook traffic that comes in, or an email list, or retargeting. So a lot of people use Facebook traffic. You can even do Google here. So Google traffic is great from like a legal financial standpoint. So this can be Google traffic, Google ads. And then let's see, I'm just going to throw up a little ticker here. So if you guys want me to go through this and actually do it for you, go to doneforyou.com/start. Just throwing that up there. So in this FQL VSL funnel, basically we have a Facebook traffic, email traffic, retargeting, and Google. And then from there, we go into a landing page or an advertorial. So an advertorial is oftentimes a blog post that talks about your services, and it's usually a case study. So I have lots of examples of this. You'll see it in lots of other videos, but so an advertorial might be one particular case study that you knocked it out of the park with, and it's a written up case study about how you work with your clients. And then in that case study, there's a link, and the link goes to a sales video promo page. So this is a VSL video sales letter. And the whole purpose of this page is to get them to click the button below or fill out an application below the video. And then that application, first of all, it gives you the data you need in order to have a good conversation with this person. So, and that's different based on industry. So, I mean, if you're a financial planner, you might be asking like, what kind of retirement accounts do you have? How much in savings do you have? How much do you already have invested? What are you looking for? So you try to get a good cursory understanding of what this person signed up for. And then you reasonably know how well the call is going to go just by looking through this information. So you got your traffic sources here, and then we go over into landing page or the FQL VSL page. And then from there, and we back it up with email. And then from there, we go into a scheduling page. So the scheduling page is your call scheduling page. So that is you're available on these days. You sign up. The other person, the prospect, signs up for a call. It shows up on your calendar, and then all you have to do is pick up the phone and call them back. And then depending on the application, there is some sort of a reminder system in there. So it'll email out 3 days before, 24 hours before, 1 hour before the call, just to remind them to show up. This is as simple as like a fully qualified lead sales funnel needs to be. You're going to generate leads off of this guy. So retargeting, from a retargeted ad standpoint, we'll go from the retargeted ad right to the FQL VSL promo page, get them to sign up, they schedule a call, and then they go through the reminder system. And if they don't answer the call, if they don't schedule the call, whatever, then we usually, kick off like a nurturing sequence, or we send them to additional offers. So in a nutshell, over here, you get somebody searching for, legal, legal Erie, Pennsylvania. So they search, or they see an ad that is legal, legal work, Erie, Pennsylvania, or it's a video talking about legal work. They hit an advertorial or a landing page. From there, they go into, a sales video, and then they fill out the form underneath. They schedule a call with you. And then from a marketing standpoint, that lead is done. I mean, like the lead is generated. They're on the phone with you. Now it's a sales call. So it's very simply kind of, running a strategy session, whether scripted or not scripted. We tend not to like script. Maybe we'll talk about phone sales next week. That would actually be kind of cool. Consultative sales calls. That's actually a pretty good idea. I like that idea. So I've been racking my brain with what I'm going to talk about next week, because literally we've gone through products and funnels, and we did a whole week on Facebook traffic. Maybe next week we'll talk about consultative sales calls for service-based businesses and for coaches and stuff. And I'll bring on a couple guests. That'll be sweet. Anyway, So you get them on the phone, you talk them through ask questions, you talk them through the offer. And then from there, you close them. You send them a proposal and go from there. And I think you're going to learn more about this next week, because it sounds like a really good friggin' idea for a week-long training session, is how to sell somebody on the phone. I like it. All right. Looks like everybody else likes it too. Cool. So I think that about wraps us up for today. I mean, basically, we talked about fully qualified lead funnels. We talked about selling service-based business, or selling services. And I'm going to line up some people for next week to talk about phone sales. And Timothy likes it, so that's awesome. And I will talk to you soon. All right. Thanks. Bye.